everybody, my name is Heather. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the next installment of my minimalism series. I went through my kitchen and pulled everything out and got rid of like 150 things or something like that. When we did the Konmari method back in 2015, we were kind of lazy about the kitchen. I can't even remember if we actually pulled everything out and then went through everything, or if we just kind of like halfway looked through drawers and cabinets and sort of pulled stuff out, which is not what you're supposed to do. This time, boy oh boy, this time was quite a doozy. So as you'll see in the footage, we actually did go through and pull out everything from the cabinets. We didn't do it all at once due to a lack of counter space, but we kind of did it section by section and pulled everything out and then went through and got rid of things. Throughout the process, I was with my husband and we would discuss it together because the kitchen is a communal area and we both cook and we both clean pretty equally, so it's just stuff we had to discuss. So there might have been something that I really wanted to keep. Maybe it had to do with baking or something like that. He doesn't really bake, so he might have thought, well, do you really need that? And I would say, yeah. Same goes for him. There were a couple things that he really thought he wanted to keep, and I just respected that the same way he respected my choices. But there were a lot of things we had duplicates of. We had a lot of cutting boards for some reason, so we got rid of about half of our cutting boards, maybe even more than that. It was just really important to get rid of things that were duplicates or things that weren't even very good quality. Like we had a lot of knives from when I was in college and they weren't very sharp. They were pretty much useless, and we do have a really good set of knives, so we got rid of, I think, all but maybe one of the really crappy knives because I kind of like having one crappy knife to like open packages and stuff. We're really fortunate in our apartment to have a kitchen with a lot of storage space, but it's a blessing and a curse because when we first moved in, we didn't really have a lot of stuff to fill that space. But since we've lived here for just about 3 years, I think we've acquired a lot more and almost completely filled up all the storage space. Like we have an entire cabinet filled with like appliances. That's not great. One of the reasons that we keep appliances in a cabinet is that according to the Konmari method, you really shouldn't keep things on the countertops. When things are on the countertops, it's almost like an invitation to leave more out on the countertops as opposed to having a clean workspace where having one thing you're just like, oh, that shouldn't be there, and so you just constantly are putting everything away. We don't keep very much on our kitchen counters. We definitely don't put the coffee maker away because it's constantly in use, sometimes twice a day, but it would just be silly to put it away at night because we set up our coffee at night so that it'll go off automatically the next day. Certain parts of the Konmari method we can't completely implement because it just doesn't fit into our lifestyle, but for the most part, we keep the counters relatively clean. We're not perfect. We do, messes accumulate. I promise you, it's a goal of ours to constantly keep the kitchen clean, but for an apartment with only 2 people, we are really good at making a mess in the kitchen and then not cleaning it up. A really good tip I have that I acquired from the life-changing magic of tidying up is to use boxes that you've found during your process of decluttering to kind of use as dividers in your drawers. So this is something that I have done when we went through our clothes and kind of reorganized the drawers. So I have a box for like my socks. I have a little box to hold like my lady panties. And it just keeps things really organized. So we have a drawer in our kitchen that's full of like utensils, like long cooking utensils. They're always rolling around in there and they don't stay like where you put them because you close them and it just gets all over the place. So I ended up using the top of a MacBook Air box and I put it in the drawer, and like all of the long like cooking utensils fit perfectly in there, and they don't roll around anymore. They stay put. We've always had a silverware divider. That's just something that in every home growing up, I always had one. So it just made sense to always have one. If you don't have a silverware divider, I don't know how you function unless you only have like one of each thing. I really, at some point, maybe it might be interesting to do an experiment in the kitchen where you have one of everything, and basically like when you're done with it, you wash it to use it again, like, and not just let it pile up in the sink. Like, that blows my mind. That would be like a goal. Another thing that actually isn't in the life-changing magic of tidying up that I really wanted to do was go through all of our spices and oils and get rid of some of that we hadn't used or needed in a very, very long time. But what wasn't in the book is cataloging everything. We have a lot of spices for people who aren't like chefs, I think. We have a lot of spices, and I think what often happens is we'll forget we have something, and when we are shopping from a recipe, we'll be like, oh, this recipe requires curry powder. Do we have curry powder? Probably not. And so we'll like get more curry powder, and then we'll come home and it turns out we did have curry powder. Stuff like that. So I really wanted to type up every single spice, oil, vinegar thing that we had, and to keep it taped to the inside of the cabinet, and that's been really interesting and helpful actually. You may also notice that we got rid of the little like spinning spice rack that we had. It was like a Martha Stewart spice rack that was from like a wedding gift. We've been married for over 4 years now, so we did get rid of that. We got rid of a lot of the spices that were in there that we noticed we never, ever used. And we just kind of put everything together in the cabinet. And one thing that I think a lot of people tend to do is keep their oils by the stove for like easy reach. But Marie Kondo actually recommends that you don't do that. You want to keep the space clear of any like oil spills or like spills of vinegar or anything like that, because it is a place to prepare food. She believes that the countertop is not a storage area, it is a place to prepare food. So ever since 2015, we've actually been storing our oils and vinegars and everything in the cabinet. So we didn't actually have to make that change, but it is a change that I think has really benefited us, because it's true. Like, if you don't have these random little bottles on the counter, it just looks cleaner, and that way it's easier to wipe down because you don't have to like move the bottles, then wipe it down, and then put the bottles back. If you can hear my dog eating, I'm sorry. She's eating. Okay, so that is it for this video. If you like me doing minimalism videos, give this video a thumbs up to let me know, and I will continue to make them. I do already have my clothing declutter video up, as well as my book declutter video, and there are quite a few other decluttering videos that I would like to do, so keep your eye out for those. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoy minimalism videos and decluttering videos, and also project pans and empties and bullet journal videos. Those are all the kinds of things that I like to do on my channel, so I would love for you to become part of my little family here on the internet. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye!